Start drama with the Farfa clone. So I don't know what video you're working on. I am going to watch it. I will tell you that now. Unless it's just like, if it's a shitty repo, I'm not going to watch it. But you better not become a freaking... hold on. I don't know if I can find them. There is a 100% Farfa clone, chat. And I don't know how I feel about it. It has nothing to do with Nadir. I mean, but it is just... Where's this guy at? Okay, hold on. Like, to me, it's almost like embarrassing. This is the Farfa clone. And when I say Farfa clone, I mean literal Look at the thumbnails. He's doing exactly what Nadir did in 2015. He even says in his videos that he's heavily inspired by Farfa. Like, I watched it and I was just like, his GOAT format video is actually pretty fucking cringe, to be honest. It's called Why GOAT Format Sucks.
Note that this is an opinionated piece based on my personal opinions. Although this content in the
Perfect
video
balance.
is factual to some degree, it is very
Why not become a
subjective and
Beyblade
based on
channel
my own
instead?
personal opinions and outlooks of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Do they
itself.
pop off?
Don't get too bent out of shape. GOAT format is one of the most popular formats of Yu-Gi-Oh! And for good reason. It's an older era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Filled with interaction, nuanced gameplay, and skill testing matchups from a wide variety of decks.
Toxic.
It tested players' decision tree lines, ability to play with virtually perfect knowledge, and was a sacred battleground where only the best and most skillful players who thought 30 turns in advance won. At least that's what the GOAT format is saying. In reality, GOAT format is an unintuitive format surrounded by bomb cards, where the only real resource management and decision making took place in the form of, which monster am I going to set, Sangan or Graveskeeper's Spy? I personally tried to get into GOAT format and found it to be an absolute drag, so here are some of the more concrete reasons why I believe GOAT format might not be as fun or skill testing as you think it is. Additionally, I've noticed that a lot of you guys...
This is taking directly from Farfa. Nadir does this in every video now. Usually, he used to do it at random times. Now he just does it at the beginning where he talks about like, hey, so many of you guys aren't, what's it called? He's always been in for... I know that. That's what I told Big Pimpin'. I said, I guarantee you 99% that this guy is a Farfa sub. It's just all, it's written all over, like it's written all over his fucking channel. Like, not even just aesthetically the way it looks, but the way that he structured this video. I mean, I'd honestly be kind of mad. Like, if one of you guys started doing videos and your videos look like you were just directly copying my style, that would not be flattery, chat. Like, I would actually be kind of offended. I'd be like, okay, this is not exact. This is not how you would
my
call.
YouTube analytics. Please like, comment, subscribe. Reason number one.
This is and honestly, chat, I disagree heavily with this video because at least when I was watching this video, it felt like the perspective of a Zoomer, like an 18-year-old kid who only knows current Yu-Gi-Oh, tried to play a couple of GOAT format duels, hated it, and doesn't really have enough experience. The reason one was one of the things I disagreed the most with. And you guys know, I'm not even like I'm not a GOAT format shill, by the way. I am not someone who like, oh my God, GOAT format's the greatest. I play GOAT format maybe once a stream or something like that, but I'm not a shill for it. This, I completely disagree with his first point. What's it called? I see him on stream. Yeah, I just assumed he was like a sub.
And it's of course the bomb cards. Extremely powerful cards have always existed in every TCG.
That's true.
And Yu-Gi-Oh is no exception.
That's true.
However, when a format is virtually built around said cards, oftentimes these cards being able to just win a game outright within itself based on what it provides, makes the game extremely unfun to play.
That's completely untrue. To be completely honest, I would argue that there's no singular card in GOAT format that just wins the game. And the most, I would argue, maybe the closest example of a win button in GOAT format might be Blackluster Soldier, because it's like the only card that allows you to OTK-ish. But there is no, what's it called? Like, that's like one of the biggest misconceptions about GOAT format, right? Is you look at the format and you think, how can this format be skillful? There's all these fucking amazing broke cards like Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, Delinquent Duel, etc., etc. But if you really think about it, and it's not that complicated, the reason that these cards aren't auto wins is because they still don't really change the structure of how Yu-Gi-Oh was played back then, chat. It doesn't matter if you have 3 cards or 7 cards in GOAT format. Your plays are basically going to be the same most of the time. The reason is simple. There just aren't really extenders in GOAT format. BLS is like the only extender in the entire fucking game. Like you cannot, that you're so limited to what you can do that you're forced to have interaction because you just can't kill your opponent fast enough in GOAT format. Like if you converted that to current Yu-Gi-Oh chat, take a deck like Pendulum, give Triff 4 cards and see what he can do. Okay, he can do some stuff. Now give him 7 cards. He can probably summon his entire extra deck. Pot of Greed, draw. Yeah, that's what I mean. You activate Pot of Greed, turn 1. You're like, oh, I win. No, you don't. You draw fucking Dekochi and Spy. There really isn't you can't do much more. Like if you already had a flip monster in your hand, you're restricted by just the way that Yu-Gi-Oh was like played back then. Heavy Storm Tribe's not a win card, honestly. To me, the only win cards I would argue, and I don't even know if Heavy Storm's a win card because, like chat, what deck doesn't play Scapegoat? If you activate Heavy Storm and your opponent just has Scapegoat, you're not gonna kill them. Unless you specifically have, one monster, which is Azura Priest, you just can't do anything. Like, okay, summon as much as you want. I got 4 goats and you're not killing them. So you're not getting at my life points. He leeches off of every YouTuber / streamer. He deck rides Farfa, Coder, and MBT. Oh, I had honestly never heard of this guy until he posted on Facebook that he got banned for one of his videos. Then I just started to watch this. But I took great exception with this first point. Like, no, as strong as Delinquent Duo, Pot, and Graceful are, they're not win cards in this format.
Heavy Storm forces
Return? I don't think Return's a win card because in Go formats, how many ways are there of banishing? There just aren't enough ways. Like, you can't banish fast enough. There's no like a Lord Darkness or stuff. Everything is like, all right, I guess you can banish if you play Chaos and like that's it. Or if you want to play like Bazoo or something.
Just to play around the threat of its existence. Graceful Charity, discarding Serpent, or double Night Assailant can virtually just win the resource game for you.
I'm sorry, but who the fuck plays Night Assailant? Do like people play that? The next, oh my, so that's interesting. I didn't want to be toxic because even though chat, I am naturally toxic, I don't want to come off as toxic. I was actually going to make that exact comment. I was going to comment on this video. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna undislike. I'm gonna be less toxic. I was going to comment on this video. This is how you become the next Chato Chat. Now, obviously, like he won't understand that because he probably has no idea who that is. But that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say this is how you become the next Chato Chat of like the Yu-Gi-Oh community or the Yu-Gi-Tubing community. People definitely play Night Assailant. You're just out of touch of the 15-year-old form. That's not the point. The point is still, other than BLS, I mean, if I'm wrong, chat, just tell me I'm wrong. But do you guys feel like there are like 10 auto win buttons in Go format? Because like I don't think so. I think there's basically just this guy.
BLS is arguably the best monster in the game for a good reason. It's a free summon and allows for either immediate OTK or
Ring is the other one. Yeah, but your life points. I talk about that in the video that's coming up, by the way. Ring of Destruction is an amazing card. It's like one of the greatest traps ever. But your life points have to be low for Ring. It's not an auto win.
For spot removal in specific
BLS
scenarios.
just does so
Pot
much
of Greed
damage.
draws 2 for literally free. Delinquent Duo rips 2 for virtually 0 cost.
BLS is an auto win after like turn 30. Otherwise, it's super easy to out early to mid game. Yeah, I just mean in like, I guess the most common situations. Because, I mean, yeah, if you summon BLS early in the game, it doesn't really do any. Like, I would not summon BLS like turns 1 to 2. Maybe like even 3. Because at best, maybe you get like priority effect and get to banish something. So it's a +1, but that's not it. The point is, when you actually play Go format enough, you play like, you know that your opponent opening with like Pot doesn't fucking win the game. It doesn't like them delinquent duoing your hand. Like these things, surprisingly, it just doesn't win the game.
I understand that playing around cards is one thing, but when these sort of cards are irresponsible in the vast majority of situations, remember kids, yeah, Karibo, a Pot of Greed. It makes the format feel extremely sacky and luck dependent
I don't agree. Like, to me, this just screams someone, this just to me screams, I played 3 GOAT format duels, it was too slow and I hate it. Like, I don't know. I honestly, to me, Snatch Steal, Snatch Steal was in GOAT format, right? Snatch Steal feels way more luck sacky than like some of these other cards, even more than like Pot sometimes. Because Snatch Steal takes a monster, gives you a monster, and gives you damage. The whole thing about GOAT format is just, you can't do damage quickly. Like, none of these cards, and almost none of the cards in the format changes that. So the cards that allow you to do damage quicker, those are the cards that feel more luck sacky. Cards like Snatch Steal or BLS. Like Pot and Delinquent Duel, as great as those cards are for the advantage game, they still require you to play the advantage game, which is going to be a long, grinded out duel. They don't really change the structure of like the format is slow as fuck. At least that's what I think anyways. Priority is fucking garbage. Bro, I mean, that's what, sorry to tell you, but that's like Draco said, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh was like. I actually, chat, I was reading a feature match from GX era, and one of the players summoned Exile Force and used Priority, and I was like, I got a nostalgia flashback, man. It was like a Vietnam flashback, and I was just kind of like, bring back. Oh my good, chat. Would name some cards, chat, like good meta cards that would be absolutely insane if Priority came back. How many ignition effects do we have?